Hello, my darlings, and welcome. Samhain, also known as All Hallows Eve and Halloween, is the last day of the year on the wheel of the year. In this video, I want to share my Samhain New Year's Eve tarot card spread. Let's do some magical crafting. This spread can be used at Samhain, the witch's new year, or you can use it at the beginning of the calendar year, or any time you want to reboot your year and goals. It can also be used as a month-ahead spread at the end of each month. I will be using the Crow Tarot deck for this reading, and the cards will relate to the year ahead for both myself and this channel. Before I flip the first card, I wanted to let you know that if you pick up messages coming through that I miss in this reading, or have any wisdom to share about my year ahead or the channel, please let me know in the comments. I've created a printable worksheet for my patrons of the tarot spread that I'm using here. If you'd like to download a PDF of this worksheet, please visit Magical Crafting on Patreon at the link below the video. My patrons can download recipes, Book of Shadows pages, artwork, and more, all provided as PDFs, and I'll continue to add new, downloadable content as I do more projects on the channel. My New Year spread focuses on 11 elements looking ahead into the new year. I always start with the present situation and then ask about positive and negative influences in the coming year. Then I focus on goals and lessons. And next I ask about relationships, work, health, and spirituality. And finally, I look at what to work on or improve in the coming year and a final message or piece of advice. The first position is the current situation. The Eight of Wands is a card of action. This card is all about getting things done over short periods of time, an end to delay. I feel like this card perfectly embodies my current situation related to my career and business at the moment. Always rushing forward and working hard. I've written short notes, swift action, and tasks completed. This card also relates to communication and hope for change for the better. The second position is positive influences in the coming year. The Star is a card of hope. Having passed through a challenging time and having renewed strength and power. The Star also signifies confidence and vigor, a widening of horizons, both physical and mental. Perhaps this card signifies my wishes coming true and being able to be more active and out in the world next year. I've written hope, optimism, happiness, and wish. The third position is negative influences in the coming year. The Moon is a card of uncertainty. This card indicates illusions, imagination, secrets, dreams, and shadows. I wrote short notes of insecurity, shadow, and deception. This can mean I'll take a path I'm unsure of in the coming year, or I may let my imagination get the best of me. Perhaps shadow work is in my future, or some hidden truths will be discovered. The fourth position is goals, or a focus for the new year. The Queen of Swords is a card of truth. This card represents the importance of making judgments without relying on emotions alone. She represents fairness and effective communication, teaching or mentoring others. I have written teacher, mentor, sensible, and inspire. If I relate this card to myself, it tells me to inspire others in a down-to-earth fashion. This should be my goal. The fifth position is a lesson or a theme for the new year. The King of Swords is a card of intellect. This card also represents authority and logic, and it can seem overbearing and stuffy. It's also a card of strategy, facts, and planning, and so I've written strategic, logical planning in my notes. It seems that some planning is in the cards for me this year. Perhaps it's time to stop working by the seat of my pants and add some strategy into the mix. It couldn't hurt. The sixth position is relationships with family, friends, or romance. The Five of Pentacles is a card of adversity. It usually represents struggle or loss. In a relationship position, it can signify isolation, loneliness, feeling distant, or depression. However, the Crow Tarot Workbook suggested this card was a call to focus on relationships and look for opportunities. And so those were my notes. This card serves as a reminder that even when all appears lost, there are still opportunities if we look for them. The seventh position is work, business, career, or study. The Tower is a card of change. It signifies disruption or conflict and the overthrow of the current system or way of doing things. It can mean that the old ways of doing something are no longer useful. My notes are drastic change, upheaval, and catastrophe. It looks like something is going to change in a big way in relation to my work in the coming year. The eighth position is health. This can mean focusing on wellness, mental health, physical health, or self-care. The Knight of Wands is a card of energy. This card indicates being decisive or implementing a plan or a goal and sticking to it, taking the lead or being a leader, sometimes recklessly, but definitely moving forward despite obstacles. I made the notes enthusiasm, confidence, and reckless. Perhaps it's time to set some health goals. This looks like the year I might be able to stick to them and make them happen. The ninth position is spirituality. The Two of Cups is a card of partnership. This is a signifier of connection and unity, and it's a very positive card. My notes were harmonious, connection, and relationship. Perhaps I will have a partner that will influence me in my spiritual path in the coming year. A mutually beneficial relationship wherein we support one another on our journeys. The 10th position is what to work on or to improve this year. Judgment is a card of awakening. This year will be a time of self-evaluation and reflection on my purpose. My notes were transition, take stock, and rebirth. A new beginning is coming in the new year. I need to reflect on my values and my purpose. I will be making a change for the better. The 11th position is my final message or advice for the year. The Devil is a card of materialism. It often appears when something is restraining you, an addiction, a desire for wealth or material things. My notes are fear of change, addiction, and break free. The advice for the coming year is to beware of becoming trapped by material things. Guard against overindulgence. Know that I can break free, but only when I stop fearing change. There were several noteworthy surprises about this reading. I was really surprised how many major arcana cards came up. Almost half the cards, or 5 out of 11, were majors. I was also surprised at how many court cards or face cards appeared. There were 3 court cards that appeared: a king, a queen, and a knight. And finally, I was really surprised that there were no reversed cards. I know that some readers do not, however, I do read reverse cards when they appear. If you stuck with me this far, thank you. I want to know what you think of this year ahead tarot reading. Do you think it was positive or negative overall? I'm really interested to hear your opinions in the comments. I would love to know how you think this New Year reading may affect the channel as well. Let me know if you picked up messages coming through the cards that I missed.